as somebody who's probably you at this point, because you've been doing this a couple of years, you might
2 years,
almost as many emails as I did for the first 7, 8 years. It's hard to tell, but what tips do you have for people who are going to be emailing the show?
Yeah, sure. So I had a couple of ideas that I came up with last night, some do's and don'ts for if you want to email the show. So just as a gauge, last month we got about 250 emails. So that's about on par with what we normally do. So of those emails, we get a lot of different types of emails. So the do's and don'ts that I have, the first one is have patience. There's a lot of us. We all have, this is all volunteer work. None of us are sitting in front of our computers every day, 9 to 5, just to answer emails. So it'll take a few days to get a response. So just have patience with us. The second one is the shorter your email is, the faster you'll get a reply. If you send like a 1 or 2 sentence email and I see it and I can respond to it in 1 minute or less, then I'm going to send that a lot quicker than if you send a much longer email. I really want to take time to read through your email and comment on specific things about it. So that one's going to take me a little bit longer to get to. So if you send a long email, give it a few extra days. Number 3, everybody gets your email. A lot of times we get emails from people that say, hey, can you pass this along to Matt, or can you pass this to Don, or can you make sure Jenna gets this? They already have it. All of the email goes to all of us and it drops in everybody's inbox. So nothing has to be forwarded to anybody else. Number 4, do a little bit of research before emailing. Sometimes people will say, hey, what's a good response to Pascal's wager? Or how do you respond to the argument from ignorance? And a lot of times what I end up doing is just sending them a clip of the show where we've done exactly that. But if you just go on YouTube and you go to the search bar and you type in atheist experience plus whatever, could be atheist experience, Pascal's wager, atheist experience, argument from ignorance, whatever, you'll find 5, 10, 15 probably different videos where we've talked about these in detail. So a lot of times you can save yourself the trouble by just watching an old clip from the show. Next one is you're not guaranteed to get a reply from your host, especially Matt. By and large, Matt gets the most requests from people. They want to read this argument that I have and tell me what's good and bad about it, or can Matt see this, or what's Matt's opinion on this? And I think Matt will tell you as much as anybody that he probably currently has hundreds, if not thousands of emails in his inbox. That
16,864.
Okay,
Already.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, he's but one man with many other things to do, and so you might not get a reply from him. You are guaranteed, however, to get a reply from me. So if it's something that's not very specific to Matt, and it's something that I might know the answer to, I'm going to chime in and give you my 2 cents, and that's hopefully that counts for something. The last do is leave an email in your voicemail. So we have a voicemail number that you can call the show. You can call, not this show, but you can call and leave a voicemail. And a lot of times people leave voicemails, but they don't leave an email. And I can reply to you a lot quicker if you just give an email. I can reply straight to your voicemail via email. So do leave an email in any voicemail that you might leave on the show line. And then the one don't that I figured out, and I think that's a pretty good one, is don't send links to videos. A lot of times people will send a link and they'll say, hey, can you debunk this? And when I click on it, it's an hour-long or 2-hour-long lecture. Right. And it's like we definitely don't. While it would be great if we could respond to all of those and debunk all of these videos, there's just not the time for that. And if it's a short video, if it's like maybe 5 minutes or less than that, then I might actually bring up the video, take a look at it, and give you my thoughts. But if it's an hour, 2, 3 hour-long lecture at some conference, there's just no way that me, or I think I can speak for all the hosts, that anybody has the time to respond to that. So the best thing I think in that case would be to try to contact that person, find their email, that pastor's email, that preacher's email, whoever it is, and give them our number to the show and have them call into the show. So yeah, that's my do's and don'ts.
That's probably better. Yeah, good stuff. The one thing is I'll give you another don't, and that is if you email and you don't like the response that you get from Dustin, Yeah, Justin, don't email us back to complain about Justin, because that's not going to get anywhere. I actually, it's rare that I'm going to take somebody who's a volunteer who gave an answer that you didn't like and choose you over them. It's, Justin would have to be very, 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 very wrong and rude. But we got callers. We got callers from all over.